to a video tutorial of AuctionRPM. My name is Dan Zumwalt, and I'll be your guide through this discussion of the web catalogs and website designer in AuctionRPM. Up to this point, we have discussed the scheduling of the auction, creating of lots. We've put some pictures on those lots, and we've entered in some bids. But before you actually execute the actual day of the auction, oftentimes it's advantageous to create catalogs that you would then turn around and put on your website. In order to make this happen, we're going to go under Auctions and Marketing, and under the Marketing tab we're going to click on Web Catalog here. Now, Web Catalog in its simplest form is simply a listing of the items in the auction. Now, if you have included pictures with those items that you've pre-lotted into your auction, then of course you can also put those pictures on this web catalog. It would automatically do that. What we're going to do here is I'm going to select the auction, the new sample auction we've been working on. I'm going to leave the lots per page at 10, and I'm going to leave it at short and long as far as what auction catalog descriptions we want. Notice that we can also indicate that we only want the short description or the long description to be shown on the items in that catalog. You'll also notice that there's two enlargements that can be included with this catalog. We have enlargement number 1, which is currently set at 100% of the original size, and we have enlargement number 2, currently set at 150% of the original size. The way this works is on the catalog itself, when we look at the listing of the lots, next to each lot we're going to see a thumbnail of the picture. Then if we click on the thumbnail, then it will take us to enlargement number 1. And again, if we click on that enlargement, then it would take us to an even larger enlargement. I'm going to go ahead and leave these settings all the way they default. I'm going to create catalog, and then it wants to know where we want to save our catalog. Now, real quick, I'm going to cancel out of here, and I want to minimize AuctionRPM and show you that on our desktop I've created a folder here called Sample Web Catalog. And we're going to fill this sample web catalog with the files of the web catalog that we're making right now. So back in AuctionRPM, I'm going to click on Web Catalog. I'm going to select our new sample auction. I'll hit Create Catalog, and as you can see, I've now pointed it to the sample web catalog, and that's on the desktop. I'll hit Save here, and now it asks if we want to show any existing winning bids on the catalog for the following auction. I'll go ahead and answer no to this because theoretically I'm doing this before the actual auction itself, and now it's going to go through and create the catalog itself. Now that it's done creating the catalog, I'm going to minimize AuctionRPM. I'll double click on this folder, and as you can see, here are now the files that it created that comprise our catalog. There's not too many in this example because, of course, in this auction we haven't put in that many items in the auction itself. But of course, for a full-sized auction, there would be many files in this folder. Now, this file right here, the one that's entitled auction underscore and then a number, that is the primary file comprising the auction catalog that we're looking at. If I go ahead and double click on that file, it's going to open up the web browser, and it's going to show us the web catalog itself. Now, as you can see here, this is a basic web catalog. It shows us the auction location, the date, the inspection date and time, and it shows us the listing of lots. Right now we just have a listing of lots 1 through 10, and if I click on that link there, it'll now show us lots number 1, 2, 3, 4A, 4, 5, and 6. Those are the only lots that we've defined in this auction. As I said earlier, next to each lot, if there are photos, then it would show us a thumbnail of those particular photos. I'm going to click on this photo right here, and that will take us to the first enlargement that we have indicated we wanted. And as you can see here, the enlargement is quite large. The original photo is a high resolution photo, and so there's quite a bit of detail that we can achieve here. Now, if I clicked on this photo again, then that would take us to even a more detailed version of the photo. And as you can see, there's lots of detail, and it's a larger picture that you can have. Now, we don't have a lot of resolution on this window that we're looking at right now, but suffice to say that you can create whatever enlargements you wish to have with this web catalog. I'll go ahead and close this window, And I'll close this window as well, and we'll go back to AuctionRPM. Now, beyond the basic catalog that we've created here, there's a lot of features, a lot of additions that we can make to this catalog. Let's take a look at what some of those are. First of all, I'll go to Tools, and I'll go to Settings and Defaults. Then we'll click on Web Settings down here. Under the Web Catalog settings, there's several options here that we can use in order to set how we want the catalog to appear. If you remember, on that catalog, most of the titles and the banners were all in this dark color right here. Well, with these buttons, you can set whatever coloration you wish so that the catalog can perhaps match the coloration of your existing website. You, of course, can also indicate the web catalog font that you wish to use on the catalog. This is all under Colors and Fonts. Under Image Settings, here you can identify the web page background, the background that is to appear on those web pages that it creates. Also, you notice that you can create default values for the enlargement number 1, enlargement number 2, and the web catalog lots per page. Also notice that if I set any of these default values, like in this case, it's by default going to set it at 100%. But if I set this down to 0, then what's going to happen, as this note indicates, setting the enlargement to 0 automatically causes the page to be omitted. So if I normally don't want a second enlargement, I would go ahead and leave this at 100, but then I would set this down to 0 so that it doesn't automatically create a second enlargement. Finally, under the HTML tab here, this is where I can create customizable page header HTML. And if I scroll this down, you can see this is where you can create page footer HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the language that web browsers use in order to know how to display a web page. Oftentimes, you may want to have customizable header or footer information on these pages that are created. Perhaps it would be a set of links that would branch the person to other parts of your website. If that's the case, then you can put that raw HTML into these fields, and AuctionRPM would include them on any of the HTML pages that would be created. I'll go ahead and click Exit here, and so yes to save changes, and that will return us back out to the main menu. Now, it's important also to note that on the videos page, where you clicked in order to view this particular video, right below these videos there is a link there for additional reading information. That reading information takes you to this PDF file that gives you a full dissertation as to how to create these catalogs. Part of creation of a catalog involves using, under Auctions and Marketing, the Web Catalog Designer. The Web Catalog Designer also allows you to create not only auction descriptions, but also featured items if you wish to feature certain items on the catalog. And if this happens to be a non-lotted auction, you can simply create a photo gallery of the items that are going to be featured at this auction. If we look at this PDF file that the link is there for on the video page, this PDF file shows you all about how to use those different enlargements. And if we scroll down here, it gives you an example of what a possible catalog would look like. You can see here that aside from what you already saw, being the auction location and the date and times, here is where we have an auction description. Maybe you want to have featured items. That's what is this section right here. Or you want to use this photo gallery if in fact it's a non-allotted auction. Continuing on, this part of the PDF allows you to learn how to use the AuctionRPM website designer. I'll close this PDF, and going back to AuctionRPM, if we look under Tools and Web Tools, right here we have a website designer. Now the website that this designer can create, and again the instructions are found in that PDF document, the website that this can create is entirely up to you. It is a basic website that allows you to create a main page, sub-pages. You can customize the backgrounds. You can have an automatic listing of all of your auctions. And you can have AuctionRPM automatically build and publish your website to the internet. Now, this is just one possibility, one option that's available to you. There's another product that Symmetric Software makes available to you, and that is a product called ZoomBid. If you'd like to learn more about the ZoomBid product, which not only allows you to have your web catalogs online, but also allows you to create and maintain your own eBay-style timed auctions, then please give our offices a call and we'll be happy to demonstrate that product for you and see if it fits your business model. Well, that'll conclude our demonstration of the web catalog and the website designer. If you have any questions about this video or any of the other ones found on the auctionrpm.com website, please give us a call. Our phone number is area code 209-588-1232. Thanks for listening.